Make no mistakes, these next videos show us how unbelievable life can be, featuring the most incredible displays of courage, risk, and eye-popping outrageousness. All of it filmed by wonderful folks like you. This is the best eyewitness footage shot by members of the public, capturing the headline-grabbing moments eventually seen by millions, transforming the way we see the world and keeping people buzzing online. 15 incredible moments caught on camera.
We'll do it here with the lights off. Give you the full effect.
Number 15. Giant snake. Areca palms are primarily grown as houseplants in North America, but in their native Madagascar, it boasts lush, bright green leaves on its delicate, arching fronds, as well as its yellow flowers. It's also known as the bamboo palm, butterfly palm, and golden cane palm. Shouldn't it really be called tree full of snakes? Because as you can see, when this person slices open this dead, hollow areca palm, it's full of giant snakes. They're all intertwined in their nest, completely taking over the plant. Did you know that snakes could do this? Even though Madagascar is home to more than 80 species of snakes, none of them are overtly dangerous to humans. The island has no adders, cobras, mambas, pythons, or vipers, only boas and colubrids. The only terrestrial venomous snakes here are rear-fanged, capable of inflicting a painful bite, but unlikely to do much harm unless they're able to chew, allowing venom to be injected and causing swelling and possible paralysis. What this all means is you have very little to fear when walking through the bush of Madagascar. Although this giant snake in a tree moment is a little unnerving. You want to know a little secret? If you smash the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell, you'll have superpowers for the rest of your life. So what are you waiting for? Time to fly. Number 14. Ant death spiral. These aggressive insects have a dangerous tendency to commit mass suicide just because they're following the leader. This bizarre phenomenon is called an ant meal. The ants circle around and around until they all drop dead of exhaustion. More colloquially, it's often referred to as, you guessed it, the ant death spiral, and is a phenomenon witnessed only in army ants. So what's going on that causes these ants to seemingly go mad? Typically, they follow the scent trails of the ants before them in the swarm. They also lack permanent nesting sites. Instead of living at a single site, army ant colonies are constantly marching, looking for food. As the first ant in line travels, it leaves behind a pheromone trail that other ants sniff out and follow. When this system works well, it allows foraging parties to lead larger groups back to food. When it doesn't work, the ants follow these pheromone trails as they flow back into each other, ending up in an endless loop that they follow to their doom. The death spiral is an example of what happens when a swarm as a whole gets misdirected. It's not meant to be a metaphor illustrating the perils of follow-the-leader behavior in any society, but it kinda is. Number 13. Parhelion. When light refracts from hexagonal ice crystals from cirrus clouds or during especially cold weather, this happens. It's called parhelion, and it's when ice crystals have fallen to low levels, known as diamond dust. Similar to a prism, the crystals bend the sun's light as it passes through them with a minimum deflection of 22 degrees. A more common name for this fabulous phenomenon is a sundog. Sundogs are red-colored at the side nearest the sun. Farther out, the colors grade through oranges to blue. The colors overlap considerably and are muted, never pure or saturated, and they merge into the white of the parhelion you're seeing here. Most often, they'll appear as two luminous areas on either side of the sun with no discernible color. Although it's very rare, it's possible for an unusually bright moon to create the same effect. It's also possible to predict the forms of sundogs as would be seen on other planets and moons. Mars might have sundogs formed by both water ice and carbon dioxide ice. On the gas giant planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, other crystals form clouds of ammonia, methane, and other substances that can produce halos with 4 or more sundogs. It's cool to think that parhelion happens on other planets too. Number 12. Slurpee waves. Have you ever wondered if waves can freeze? Turns out, yeah, they can in places like this when conditions are just right. Nantucket is a lovely island on the eastern coast of the United States, located in the state of Massachusetts, just 30 miles south of Cape Cod. Occasionally, the popular tourist destination reaches some seriously cold temperatures, causing freezing ocean waves to roll in like slush. Slurpy waves! This precise temperature range means it's cold enough for waves to turn to slush near the ocean shores, but not cold enough for the water to turn to ice completely. This in-between temperature creates just the right climate for pristine slush waves to roll in. The temperatures are cold enough for thin sheets of ice to form over the top layers of shallow ocean waters. Yet, the deeper portions are not fully covered in ice because the waves and surrounding water temperatures were not quite cold enough to make a solid sheet of ice. It's the middle ground between frozen and not frozen that transforms waves of water into slush. Make sense? These waves are certainly not ideal for surfing, but they do create a really awesome appearance, and they're not edible either. It's definitely not like the Slurpee you get at your favorite convenience store. Number 11. Abandoned Lamborghini. Most large cities have to tackle problems like unemployment, crime, and housing issues, but Dubai's surplus of abandoned luxury cars has become a whole new type of problem. Just check out this abandoned Lamborghini. It doesn't end there. Limited edition Ferrari Enzos, Porsches, and Bentleys are just some of the several thousand luxury supercars left to rot in airports and car parks across the United Arab Emirates every year. They're simply discarded and left by their owners to gather dust in the searing desert heat. And pictures of the cars have sparked rage on social media, with many assuming that it's the super wealthy, so rich they're numb to the value of things, that simply leave their car when they're done with it. However, one of the primary reasons that so many expensive luxury cars end up abandoned is due to Dubai's struggle in the face of the effects of the global financial crisis, along with plunging oil prices. The director of Dubai's waste management department says that some of the cars are eventually moved and impounded if they obstruct roads or impact on safety, but others are left as they were, sometimes for years before they're recovered. Number 10. First ever triple flare. This is the moment a British BMX star landed the world's first triple flare, rotating 3 times in midair and twisting 180 degrees. It's quite a sight to behold. Kieran Riley made history after landing the world's first triple flare trick, 16 years after the first double flare was landed. The footage shows Riley pulling off the trick and, after landing successfully, leaping off his BMX and scrambling up his launch ramp. The 20-year-old made history with the record-breaking trick only previously attempted on computer games. The stunt, which took less than 10 seconds, saw Riley speed down a steep ramp before shooting up a second ramp and launching into the air, flipping 3 times and rotating to land on his rear wheel. It took Riley around 20 tries to complete. During training, changes had to be made to the ramp setup, including adding another 2 feet to the original 10.5-foot tall quarter pipe, making it 12 feet 6 inches. A 6-foot extension to the roll-in was also added to facilitate more speed. After landing, Riley was barely able to speak as a photographer raced over to congratulate him on the amazing achievement. Number 9. Narrow U-turn. It's like something out of one of those reality programs showing us the world's most dangerous roads. You know, the ones where a driver has to white-knuckle their way through some harrowing narrow road on the edge of a cliff, only inches away from a plummet off a mountain. This video is on a whole other level, because as you can see, the driver has to make a U-turn in the worst place ever, on the edge of a cliff, only inches away from a plummet off a mountain. Need we say more? A U-turn in driving refers to performing a 180-degree rotation and reverse the direction of travel. It's called a U-turn because the maneuver looks like the letter U. This driver's version is more of a zigzag back and forth balancing act than a smooth U, but incredibly the job gets done. But not without scaring the heck out of us. In some areas, the maneuver is illegal, while in others it's treated as a more ordinary turn, merely extended. In still other areas, lanes are occasionally marked U-turn permitted or even U-turn only. Occasionally, on a divided highway, special U-turn ramps exist to allow traffic to make a U-turn, though often their use is restricted to emergency and police vehicles only. But not here. This driver has only one narrow lane and only pure skill to get out of this traffic jam. Number 8. Scuba Pizza. Pizza delivery people can have a thankless job. traveling through rain or shine to bring sustenance to hungry customers, usually in a car. They don't usually get in the water and don a wetsuit and breathing apparatus. But Jules Undersea Lodge off Florida's Key Largo is not a regular place to stay. Staying at Jules includes a pizza delivery, which is delivered via free diving with a waterproof case. This is among the coolest pizza deliveries you're ever likely to see. Packed into a watertight box, pizza is carried down from a jetty to the lagoon floor, where a moon pool opening in the lodge floor lets the diver and their tasty pizza of choice into the cabin. With the hotel sitting 30 feet underwater in a lagoon, delivery can be a logistical nightmare. Enter the team of scuba heroes who swim past shoals of fish to hand you your dinner. Inside, there's a wet room with a shower and the moon pool, a bedroom, and an 8-foot by 20-foot lounge with space to eat and drink. If you tire of the view outside, there's Wi-Fi too. In its former life as a research laboratory, this base was submerged off Puerto Rico and was used to explore how humans could live underwater. Since its move to Florida and conversion to a lodge, now you can live the good life beneath the waves. Number 7. Watermelon music. This talented person, a French one-man band, has a talent for playing the theremin, an electronic musical instrument controlled without physical contact by the performer. Here, he plays his ultra-new synth creation by a poolside, making himself the envy of music lovers and foodies everywhere. He plays a mean watermelon, and it looks too delicious for words. Watermelons consist of 92% water, but we're 100% blown away. Musical fruit? That's not something you hear every day. This guy has shown how downright funky fruit can be. This technological repurposing is achieved with a Playtronica. How it works is by effectively creating a circuit between the device and the human body or the object. Then it's connected to a computer, so when you touch the instrument, the circuit is closed. A specified sound is played. It lets the user turn almost anything into instruments with some clever wizardry. Through interactive work, this technology aims to immerse people in a reality that fuses touch, sound, and technology. One where everyday objects, even watermelons, take on new identities, challenging us to creatively explore the world around us and our relationship with it. Number 6. Handlebar Master. Mike Hucker Clark is one of those BMX riders with crazy amounts of natural talent. A pro BMX dirt rider, Mike is also partial to a bit of surfing, skateboarding, snowboarding, and even motocross when the mood takes him. But the real showstopper is his skills as a handlebar master. His entertaining antics and exciting tricks make him a crowd favorite at every BMX event. Rocking a mullet haircut doesn't hurt either. He looks the part. Hucker has been riding since the late 90s when he got his first GT. His natural flair on a bike meant that he had picked up a number of sponsors in his teens, and in 2010 really came to the fore when he picked up the 3rd spot at Red Bull Stomping Ground in Chicago. Hucker has made a career out of doing tricks on a bike that create major buzz. That doesn't mean we can all do it, and that's why he's the consummate entertainer, a must-see handlebar rider. And this guy can bar ride wherever he likes by the looks of it. Apparently, this isn't that hard according to this BMX wizard, but we would imagine this takes a lot of practice to get it to look so easy. Hucker is a SoCal soul through and through, with his flowing surf style clearly identifiable in his riding technique. Number 5. Epic Water Slide. Social media has been going wild for this video of the trick, and of course it prompted a debate about whether it's real or a fool of the eye. It certainly is impressive. The videos posted by many tourists show the water slide whiz gliding effortlessly on top of the water only to gracefully pop up on the pavement, walking away like it's no big deal. But it certainly turned heads. File this under water slide viral video. This Jamaican man practically walks on the water at this water park numerous times. Since water slides have been around a long time, it was only a matter of time before us humans managed to think outside the box, so to speak, and ride them in different ways. This guy is clearly a hit at this water park, and the video went viral as soon as it hit the internet. Maybe he has a season pass at this resort because you gotta ride a lot of water slides to be a cool runner like this. Watch him slide across the surface of a pool with more than 48,000 shares and over 81,000 likes. The young stuntman has become quite the viral sensation. In fact, maybe this could be some sort of water slide sport where competitors compete to glide the furthest on top of the water. Who's in? This guy gets the gold medal for this stunt. Number 4. The Mountain Runner. Kilian Jornet is a mountain climber, ultra runner, ski mountaineer, and self-proclaimed lover of mountains, and it shows. He grew up in Catalunya in northeastern Spain, saying, "I had a normal childhood, just that my playground was the forest and mountains instead of the streets." His father was a mountain guide and hut keeper, and he grew up in the mountain hut where his father worked. The family would spend weekends and holidays trekking and summiting local mountains. By the age of 3, he had climbed a 9,879-foot mountain, and at 6 years old, he climbed his first 13,000-foot mountain in the Italian-Swiss Alps. By the time he was 12, Jornet had begun his ski mountaineering career, and by age 16, he had joined the Spanish national ski mountaineering team. And now, he's arguably the most famous, prolific, and dominant mountain athlete of all time. He has won pretty much every major ultra-running race, smashed numerous endurance records, and pushed at the limits of what anyone thought was possible in the mountains. He says that the most important lesson that his parents taught him and his sister growing up was to be conscious that we're all part of nature, to understand how it works and respect it. Number 3. Insane Bloody Mary. What better way to cure a hangover than a beautiful plate of bacon and eggs and a large glass of boozy, spicy tomato juice? The Bloody Mary cocktail proudly stands on most brunch menus and is considered a classic hair of the dog trick. Even the most inexperienced bartender could throw the ingredients together and manage to pull off something fairly decent. But not if it's this Bloody Mary. The barnyard version at this restaurant in La Mesa, California is an absolute monster, weighing a whopping 10 pounds. You get a pitcher of Bloody Mary, celery, lettuce, and pickled vegetables, with bacon-wrapped shrimp, chorizo, and hot dogs, as well as grilled corn, olives, mozzarella, and tomatoes. As you can see, there's a whole roast chicken skewered in the top, drizzled with barbecue sauce. Everyone had preferences of what they like to eat, so there was a little bit of everything and something for everybody. The 48-ounce drink contains a half bottle of vodka, perfect for sharing. The giant cocktail serves 4 or more people easily. And if you enjoy it a little too much one night, you may well be in need of a little something to take the edge off your hangover. Bloody Marys might help, but this one takes the cake. Coming in at $55, it takes work and a team to finish. Number 2. Lady in the Lake. The gender reveal trend for babies has been around since the 2000s, when a blogger and mom started to have fun announcing the birth of a daughter with a cake with pink icing on the inside. The surprise of finding out what the gender of the baby is assigned is what makes the fun drama of gender reveals. And part of the experience now is getting the perfect picture to share on your social media with family and friends. But this video gives the term photobomb a whole new meaning. As you can see, this woman goes to extreme measures to not show up in the background of her friend's gender reveal pics. Held on the dock of a lake, she can be seen in the background. While she was intending to set off the fireworks, the wind on the day proved problematic and took longer to get them set up. She starts off crouching down in the back in an attempt to get out of the way, but then she chose to jump into the lake, creating a huge splash as the couple celebrates the news of their baby boy. As the pair screamed in excitement and embraced, she's seen jumping up from her crouched down position and running to the side of the dock before diving into the water. The video has been watched millions of times, and many viewers took to the comment section to praise her for her dedication to her friend. Number 1. Fluorescent rocks. What makes these rocks special, besides being called euprolites, is the presence of sodalite, a fluorescent mineral found in Canada, South Greenland, Russia, and Norway. When you hold a small or large piece of sodalite mineral under an ultraviolet lamp, you have a mineral that's glowing right in your hand. It only takes a few seconds to emit light. You can repeat this transformation endlessly. To the naked eye, the rock, composed of oxygen, silicone, chlorine, sodium, and aluminum, is blue-gray with white streaks. But when placed under long-wave ultraviolet light, sodalite lights up, revealing the orange-yellow veins that gives it an iridescent appearance. It's been found that a majority of sodalite gives away fluorescence when treated under UV lights. The light from the ultraviolet rays acts as electromagnetic radiation at a single wavelength and gets absorbed by the mineral. Then it re-emits the radiation at a much longer wavelength. Because of the phenomenon, the mineral appears to glow in the dark. Plus, sodalite, aka euprolite, is widely used to make ornamental gemstones. It's normally opaque in shape, and they're almost translucent. but the glow-up is undeniable. Videos like these make it hard to look away, but it's also entertaining to see all the outrageous things people capture on their cameras and share with the world. That's how memories are made, isn't it? And there's more where that came from. So stick around for more incredible moments